My name's Warren Davies and I'm from Kyabram in northern Victoria. I'm an ex-dairy farmer. I was a dairy farmer all my life basically from leaving school. It's all consuming. Farming is all consuming, particularly dairy farming. It's your 24/7, but it's not only that, it's your passion, it's your job, it's your business, it's where your kids grow up, it's where your house is, it's everything, it's what you've worked for. All those things are all bundled into one little package, so it's really hard when things don't work. It wasn't until we went out on my own, like even though working on a farm as a farm worker for 7 years taught me lots of skills, and I thought I knew everything I needed to know about farming, which I did. Really didn't prepare me for some of the other stuff that I would go through, and no, it was more about the effects of floods and droughts, and also one of the things that had really a major effect on me was our family bust up on the farm. We went into business with Mum and Dad, and after a number of years in business our direction started to change, and that had a major effect on, because families are really high value, or it's my number one value, and it had a big effect on me. But I think when I talk about that mental health journey, it started, I think, understood that it started around the flood, because the first challenge that Mother Nature threw at us. But then the drought hit and I started to withdraw. Just didn't speak to people about how I was feeling, but it was having a really big impact on me. Number one is because I loved what I did and I loved my cows, and not being able to do the right things by them because of financial constraints or weather constraints, it was really, really tough to deal with. My thing was I was getting up earlier every day, trying to work harder, thinking I could outsmart Mother Nature, and if I worked harder that'd make things better, and it just made it worse because I was struggling with mental health challenges, but I was also sleep deprived, which is not a very good combination, and it just spiraled out of control from there. I felt like I was letting my family down, I was letting my cows down, I was letting everyone down. I felt like a failure. So my wife knew that I was struggling. She said that I needed to go and see the doctor, and that's what I did. The thing was, they set me up with like a mental health plan. I went and seen a psychologist. The psychologist said that, I understand what your problems are pretty much after a 20-minute conversation. And it took 6 times to actually find someone who I could engage with that understood. So financial stress played a big part, don't get me wrong, but so did the weather, and so did my underlying issues, and so did the breakup of the family. All these jigsaw puzzle bits all come together, and I think people understand that sometimes, yes, mental health challenges or, getting to really dark places can be just a spur of the moment thing, but sometimes you've got to dig deeper than that and understand what the whole makeup of that is. But I did make a kind of a promise to myself that I was going to get better from then. I wasn't going to keep spiralling out of control. But the biggest thing I think that was my biggest challenge was actually acknowledging what was going on. So and working out strategies around, acknowledging that yes, there's something going on here. Yes, I do have to talk to somebody. So then, using communication then to be able to communicate how you're feeling, and understand that there's nothing wrong with feeling the way that you feel. Especially as a farmer and as a bloke, it's okay to have emotions. You don't have to be this bloody hard-ass person that just thinks that you're meant to deal with everything, because some of the things that we deal with are challenging. So there's lots of different things that I do. Re-engaging with my community, being involved, being an active member of that community, whatever that role was. Music's another thing, so just chilling out. As a farmer, one of the things that I used to do if I was really stressed out, just go down the paddock and do a bit of fencing. And I talk to a psychologist who supports me a little bit in what I do, as in, what I want you to do is go outside, take your shoes off and walk in the grass with bare feet. And I said, yeah, right. Yeah. And she said, no, it's really important. She said it's a grounding technique, but for you as a farmer, it's vitally important, because that's your connection. or just something like that, re-engaging with outside and, you know, not getting stuck into that, find yourself just sitting around or not doing the stuff that you need to do. You know, shit happens sometimes and we just got to be real, and, you know, sometimes stuff happens and you just got to work your way through it.